All right, it is night 4. This is session number 4 of our recruiting training. We've been doing this all week. Thank you to those of you who have been with us the entire week. If you are watching this replay of session 4, please make sure you go back and watch sessions 1, 2, and 3. They're not all an hour long, so although this is a lot to watch, it should not take you an hour for each session. So pass this on to your recruiting team, pass this on to anybody in your life that could benefit from some recruiting training. And please watch all the sessions. I am emailing out all 4 sessions to everyone in the same email, so you'll have all of that. All right, here's how we handle questions, just like every single night. There's a little Q&A section up in your dashboard. All questions will be answered in the order received if there are any questions. And I don't take questions until the very end. So I like to get through this so everybody can be on their way if they have no questions. And then I answer any questions that you might have at the end. There's nothing that's really off limits as far as recruiting goes. So please ask if you would like. Also, if you want to contact me directly or our staff, the phone number is 888-404-1513. I ask that you leave a coherent message so that we can call you back if we're not available. But the easiest thing to do is just go to asnmarketingplan.com. There's a contact us button, or you can go to contact-us and fill out the form there, and we'll get in touch with you and answer your questions. Easy stuff. Also, I put a demo. If you go to asnmarketingplan.com, at the very top, you're going to see our menu, and there's a recruiting program is one of those items. And there's a drop down underneath of that says demo. And if you want to go there, it's just a calendar. You can schedule a demo with me personally. No obligation, probably takes about 45 minutes with questions. Happy to do that for you and your team or anybody in your organization. We will record it so you can share it later. If it's something you'd like to see kind of in real time, then I'm happy to privately do a demo for you. All right. So session 1, we talked about mindset, pain points, and pipeline automation. That is really important, and that's what most of this training has been about, is automating things that you don't need to be doing and wasting your time with anymore. And how to automate outreach to new candidates, old candidates, and how to do 90% of your recruiting virtually. Session 2, we talked about capturing the numbers and making better decisions. We talked about saving money. If you're not getting responses from certain ads, or you're not getting new hires from certain ads, how to capture that data automatically, and how to stop spending a bunch of money in places that you don't need to spend money. How to use our virtual assistant services, which is our team, to handle ads, import candidates, and more. How to use online signing services for form fillable applications. Session 3. We went over all the Facebook ads, best copy ad practices, best performing Facebook ads, best performing Indeed ads, Craigslist ads, and all of that can be transferred to any platform, Glassdoor, MyCNA Jobs, all of that. And then tonight, we're going to talk about onboarding and retention strategies, automated and password protected document and training centers, and retention strategies that we've learned over the years and that are new, so that you all can get some great ideas on what makes a difference for these caregivers and what keeps them around besides the money. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight, session 4. So let's talk about onboarding and orientation forms. The picture that you're looking at in front of you now is a picture of what I call it's not a membership area, although that's kind of what it's called. This is a picture of a platform that we use. We have a CRM that we give to all of our clients, and they can use it as they wish. But inside of that, and we use this platform for recruiting, Inside of that is something called a membership area. And that just simply means that only people who have a username and password for that area can access it. So the system that we have, ASN Spark, will automatically send out a username and password to anyone that you want it to send a username and password to. So you can actually send out a username and password email and text to all of your employees or your staff. You can choose them. You can do it one by one. You can do it all at one time. Some people, do it all at once, and then they just add people on as they hire them, of course. And it gives them a password protected area. You can see the right-hand side, it says library, and there's a little head there. That means I'm logged into this library. And this is the only library I can see. And you can see all of the forms and information that we uploaded for this client. So we made sure that we put it on, we branded it to them. This is their website, their area. There is a link to this from their real website right to this password protected area. They can also log in and manage this. That's not just us that manages it. But inside here, what we did for them, we put their employment forms, whatever they wanted to have in here, their CNA renewal forms, their current employee forms, their handbooks, time off request forms, and folks can just log in here. They can download what they need and fill it out or whatever they want to do. And I'll show you the bottom of this because you're not seeing the whole picture here. This is some more of it that they have. They have a lot of information in here for their employees. Daily task logs, incident report forms, TB risk assessments and symptom screenings. And then they have some CEU training. It's the materials for the training. So caring for patients with dementia, infection control, patient rights, oral care, and incident reporting adverse reactions. There's more below this, but I didn't show everything. So these are the materials. If you were to click on one of those, it would open up and you could download a PDF document, or you could read it right there, whatever you want to do for that CEU training. There are also ways to put this together so that these are these little like chapters or these little sections that you see here are more like training. So in other words, they have to complete one of these in order to go on to the next. So you can set this up any way you like. It just can be a place to house documentation for your employees, and they can see this on their smartphones. You don't have to be in a desktop to see this. And they have their own username and password. You can always reset it. And of course, if they leave your service or they leave your employment, you can just revoke their access and then they just won't be able to get in anymore. This is not a place where you would store things like applications that are filled out. This is just really for a library of information for your clients. For your employees. The other thing though, I was going to just say is you can also use this, and you can have as many of these password protected areas as you want. You can also use this as a family portal. I should also mention that each one of these little areas like incident report or if you were to click on daily task log, if you had a video that went along with the PDF or whatever documentation you want there, any video can be either uploaded directly to this platform or a link from YouTube can be used or Vimeo. So it really is a robust platform. So if you had a family area and you really wanted to have some, tools for families, resources, and a family area where they can go in and read more about, maybe it's something that you guys do specifically, maybe it's an ebook, maybe it's, whatever you provide, maybe it's, different resources in your local community, I don't know. But if you wanted to do something like that, you can also have a family area. So you don't have to limit it to employees. You can use this as a family login portal. This would not be a place that would contain personal information about anybody. It would just be a library though. Okay. So that is one of the onboarding, orientation, and forms areas I wanted to show you. Again, very secure, very password protected, and we do offer that. So if you don't have something like that, I know that there are platforms out there that offer that. But if you don't have something like that, you can always, reach out to us. This is available to anybody in our recruiting program. All right, let's talk about employee retention. Always be asking, offering, and honoring. I really like that. Asking, offering, and honoring. 9, retention. I'm going to talk about a bunch of retention strategies, so it's going to go well beyond this. But let's just talk about the basics. Building employee engagement is really important, and that means conversation. So let's talk about employee engagement. What if you had a platform like the one we have that our clients use, where you can text all of your employees, especially the new ones that are brand new out in the field, and ask them, how are you doing? Are you okay? Is there anything we can do for you? Are you having any challenges? And you have to make sure you're going to answer that. But if you're texting them on a weekly basis and just asking them if they're doing okay, is there anything we can do for you? Is there anything that you need? Have you turned in this? Or would you like to come by and pick up da, da, da? I mean, I don't know what it is you do for folks, but if you text them and ask them some genuine questions and make sure that someone is available to genuinely answer them if they do text back, that would be awesome. So engaging with your employees, super important. Recognitions and rewards, I'm going to show you some of that. Recruiting the right employees. I know that right now it is tough. I know some people are kind of like, give me a warm body. But recruiting the right employees, you all know it just as well as I do, is the right thing to do. It's not just the warm body, it's someone who is caring and compassionate and understands that seniors need protection and they need help. And they're a really good set of folks to work with. I mean, I love working with seniors. So somebody has to really have their heart in it in order to work in this business. Creating an exceptional onboarding experience. It doesn't have to be a long onboarding experience, but making sure that if that person is coming in for orientation, that they are honored, that they have a little bit of fun, that it's not the same old, maybe you give them a $25, I don't know, you know what, I'm talking out of school because I don't know what you already do for people. But what if you gave them a $20 gas card? Or something along that line, just to help keep them motivated to work for you, something to help them get from point A to point B. I don't know what that means to you, but maybe it's an Uber credit or something like that. Providing avenues for professional development. If you offer CNA training, HHA training, if you are in a partnership with an organization near you that does do that, and you want to give people the opportunity, or you want to scholarship some of your caregivers to take the next step in their careers or to move up in their careers, make sure that you have all that in writing and pick those folks that really want to do this as a long-term position and want to make more money. Build a culture of employees that employees want to be part of, a fun culture. Not boring, here's the thing. And I talked about this last night, and I'm going to say it again. I know that in this world, we all have to be professional. Senior care, we can't be completely cutting up all the time and acting crazy. But I was talking to some colleagues and some friends that actually I can't tell you how many restaurants have had to close their doors or cut back their hours or close certain locations because they cannot find staff. I'm sure all across the country, the same thing is happening. And then I have some friends that are opening a brand new restaurant, their 3rd location in our metro area. And it's crazy that they're able to do that in this kind of an economic time. But the reason that they're able to staff that business and provide an excellent experience, not only for their employees, but for their customers, is because they are not only professional, but they are fun. And they show that fun on their Facebook business page, on their website. They show people who might be interested in working for them that they have a culture of professionalism, but also a great time working there. So when you build that culture and you show that on your website and on your Facebook business page, and you take pictures of people who are happy and smiling, That's going to go a long way to retention, because I guarantee you some of your competition is doing that. I have some examples, but a lot of your competition is not doing that. The more you can show that you all are a great place to work with pictures, with evidence, the better off you are. Saying it is one thing, showing it is another. We're going to talk about some winning incentives in manage to retain. It doesn't mean manage to retain people. It means manage people to retain people. Help them along in their journey. Help them with whatever they need. Be willing to listen and prevent burnout by focusing on employee wellness. All of this is hard at a time when everybody's stressed out and burned out. But I will say this, if the person who's recruiting and the person who's scheduling is burned out and angry every single day, that is not going to help your case at all. They need a break, or maybe they need a different position or whatever. You can't have someone who's a snarky, mean person doing the scheduling or the recruiting. And they may not be a snarky, mean person in real life, but they have been doing this for so long and they're so tired of the challenges that they just can't take it anymore, or they can't be nice ever. Then that is not the person that needs to be on that phone with those caregivers. Just know that. Listen to what's going on your phone lines, and know that if someone is snarky and mean because they just can't deal with the next call in, then they need to be not on that phone line anymore. It's a rough job. I totally understand. All right, let's talk about a couple of things that are new that we came across and that our clients can offer to their new hires and to their current employees. And one of them is restaurant discount savings. So this is called Dining Guru. We take care of everything for our clients so they don't have to do anything. So what happens is our clients send us a list of caregivers. Sometimes they're new hires, sometimes they've been around a while and they're just honoring them. And we put those folks, their email, their first name, last name, and email address into a database, into Dining Guru Advantage or whatever it is. And they are emailed a certificate that is worth restaurant discount savings all across their area. So what they get is a little set of instructions. There's an app that they download. Everything is free. And on that app, they can put in their location or their zip code, and all of the restaurants, and there are thousands and thousands of them, that participate will show up. So anybody near them. So we have people using this in the heart of Manhattan. I use it here in the state of Missouri. And it will give discounts like buy one, get one free. And it might be something like Subway, or it might be a fancy restaurant, or it might be McDonald's, or it might be, a mom and pop shop that is not a franchise. So it could be an ice cream shop. There's thousands and thousands of restaurants that have certificates on here. So when you go to that restaurant, you just show them your deal that you got on your phone, and they take they give you the buy one, get one, or whatever it is they have in that system. So that is one thing. So when our clients send us the list, what we do is we enter the names for them. Those people are directly sent their dining certificates. We do not make money off of this. It costs us $8 per certificate to send them out, $8. And it's $100 discount, dining advantage, whatever you want to call it. So it's $8. It costs what it costs me. And so I just charge my client $8 for that. So we are just passing on the cost. We do not mark it up. We just, they pay $8 for each certificate they ask for. And it works great. So they send them, and then we send them the receipts and the screenshots to show them that everybody was emailed their dining certificates. And they can get restaurant discount savings all over the place. So that's something nice to do. It's not going to, it's not going to make anybody a millionaire, but it's something that's nice, especially if you have a big family and you want to do a buy one, get one free, or 20% off your meal at Cracker Barrel, or whatever it is. You can use these things. So there's also, on top of the restaurant discount savings, I did not put a slide up here. There's also hotel discount savings. Same rule applies. It's $8 per discount code or whatever it's called, certificate. And there's a place where a website you log into, and you can make your reservations through that website, and it'll give you some percentage off your stay at a hotel. It's not going to pay for an entire stay at the hotel, but it'll give you, 10% off, 50% off, 15% off. It just depends on the hotel, the chain, and it depends on the time of year. Obviously around the holidays or in the peak holiday time or vacation time, and the deals aren't going to be as good. But anyway, it's just something nice to do for people, and it doesn't cost you very much, and it doesn't cost us very much, and it's just a nicety. So that's one of the incentives that we've come across. I'm sure there are others like this out there, but I'll talk about some more. So this is the next thing I want to show you. Honoring caregivers is so important. So all of our clients have a monthly newsletter that goes out. It goes out to anybody they want to send it to. It could be clients, it could be leads. It goes out to caregivers if they want to send it out to their caregivers. It can go out to anybody that they want it to go to. So some people have really big lists, some people have small lists, but it's a monthly newsletter. And when someone's our client, they have that monthly newsletter no matter what. So we ask them to please honor their caregivers, and please send us pictures and whatever they have about their caregivers so that we can honor them in that newsletter. And that makes those caregivers feel so good, because they're not just honored in this newsletter. They're also honored with gift cards and gift certificates and things like that. So you can see across here, these are 4 different newsletters from 4 different companies, and they are honoring their employees. Caregiver of the month, employee of the month, above and beyond awards. Someone nominated their caregiver for 2021 Caregiver of the Year Award at the Home Care Association. And then also Everlight Care for October was that's Patricia, she's for the month. So if you do nothing else, honor those caregivers, give them a little something that makes them happy, and treat them nice. Employee of the month. I tell people, if you can go out and get a small bouquet of flowers from the local grocery store and a gift card, what do you think is going to make them have a better week? Is it a gift card to that grocery store because it's the one everybody uses in your town? They can go get groceries for their family. Is it a gas card? Is it just a Visa gift card? Is it something that you can do to thank them that might make their life a little bit easier this week? It will retain them because they will be so thankful for all these little things that you do. All right. Here's more ideas for employee retention. These are ideas. You can screenshot this if you want. These are just different ideas I found all across our clients and the web. Offer fun projects or professional, personal development opportunities. That I don't know what that means to you. It could be volunteer opportunities. It could be, there used to be a career ladder that we used to follow a million years ago, and it would help us get raises and things like that. As a new nurse, I did all the career ladder things I could possibly do in order to make more money and move up that career ladder to be a mentor or a charge nurse or whatever. So those kinds of projects are something you can come up with. Taking people to lunch. You might be 2 caregivers, it might be 3, and maybe you have to go pick them up. Do it. Take them to lunch. Distribute non-cash rewards. So a little bouquet of cheap flowers. I mean, you don't have to go crazy. Maybe it's, like I said, a restaurant gift card. It's not really a cash reward, but it's something nice to do. Throw a competition, party, or potluck. I'd stick with the party or the potluck. Encourage peer-to-peer recognition. Encourage caregivers to nominate other caregivers. If somebody does something great, or encourage your scheduler to nominate somebody who didn't call in all week or something like that. Just say thank you. Thank you notes that are handwritten go a long way with folks. Celebrate happy birthdays. Please make sure you celebrate their birthdays. Go very public with your appreciation. That's that newsletter I just showed you. Maybe a text to everybody that says, we want to congratulate, Mary Jane for being caregiver of the month. She won a blah, blah gift card for blah, blah, blah. Reward your staff on based on individual interests. So if you know that somebody's really into horseback riding on their days off, or maybe somebody has a favorite hobby and you learned about it, maybe they sew or they knit or they volunteer, or there's something about their church that makes them happy. Think about how you can reward someone based on the things that are important in their life. Maybe it's their kids, maybe it's their family. Don't knock the wall of fame. Okay, so what that means is if you've ever seen a wall of fame, I've seen this in lots of places. You have a wall in your office of caregivers who have done great things. So over time, as you honor someone as caregiver of the month or caregiver of the quarter, you keep that picture on the wall in your office so that other people can see it when they come in. Treats just because. Making sure that everybody, and you're going to them if they're not coming to you, you are actually going above and beyond to get to them and bring them a goodie basket at the holidays or doing something for them, and they're not having to get to the office for that if that's hard for them. Don't miss the anniversaries. That means the anniversary of their work date. Figure out what that is and celebrate it in some nice little way. It doesn't have to be a big deal, but letting other people know how long employees have been with you helps them understand that you're not churning and burning through employees every day. Encourage continuing education. Some people do little scholarships to help people go through training. Some people, there's all kinds of things that folks do to help people get more education so they can get, move up the career ladder. Help with the commute. We've talked about this a little bit, gas cards, Uber credits. What can you do for somebody to help them with transportation? If they use the bus line, what can you do to help them with the bus line? Encourage mentoring. Encourage folks to climb that career ladder so that they can mentor other aides. They can mentor new caregivers. They can go with them to the house and train them, or train them in the office, or whatever it is. Encourage those mentors to text those new people and check in on them. Create a mentorship program that really works, that's really active. Create a staff appreciation holiday. This could be on your anniversary of starting your business, but Staff Appreciation Day should be a day, or maybe it's during a whole week so people have plenty of time to come by the office, where they come by and get a goodie bag or something like that. Maybe it's in the middle of the summer when it's easier for people to get around in certain parts of the country. Have a picnic one Saturday afternoon, and then do it again on a weekday when other people aren't working. Just try to do some appreciation. Recognize non-work achievements. So if you found out that someone won an award for their artwork, or maybe for their volunteerism, or maybe something they did, sang in a Christmas thing at church, or there's something, or maybe their kids did something that was an achievement. Recognize those non-work achievements. Ask them what they do when they're not at work, and if there is, and make sure you remind them. Share your achievements. Share your non-work time stuff with us. We want to be part of your lives, and we want to celebrate with you. Have great swag. Okay, well, not everybody's going to want to do this because it kind of gets expensive. But if you have hoodies and t-shirts and collared shirts with your logos on them, and you're willing to give those out once in a while, it doesn't have to be all the time, not for everybody, but staff appreciation, t-shirt day, whatever, have some great swag so people feel like they're part of something. And then food trucks. And I hadn't thought about this. Now, this would be usually would be for a big company that has lots of people in one place all day. But if you're going to have a picnic, or you're going to have, and you do have a lot of employees, have one or two food trucks come. One that's, maybe you have a Mexican food truck, and you have a hot dog food truck, and then you have a dessert food truck come, and invite everybody to come out to wherever those food trucks are going to be. That's a lot, but If you have a big staff, you could do that one day for staff during Staff Appreciation Week. Really make a big deal about how much you appreciate these people. Even if it's not something you can spend a lot of money on, there are ways to appreciate them every single day. Every single week, someone can be appreciated. And everyone on your team can know about it, either by email or by text or by video. You could create a little video and email it out to everybody. There's all kinds of things you can do. I know how hard it is to think in terms of the positive, and you really just need to, we're all right here in this right now having to fill these shifts. But if you can take a moment and step back and say, we got to change this, we got to do more for these people, or at least be there for them, and keep them around and make them part of a family, they will stay. Okay, this is something I talked about the other day. Not everybody's going to be able to do this either. I know I'm not this person, but I got 3 kids and that's the best house mother I'm ever going to be. So, but I have seen a lot of our clients go this direction, and it really does work. So having a house mother, I don't know if any of you know what a house mother is, but it's sort of like someone who kind of just takes care of everybody in the house, and not, you don't all live together. I get that. But the house mother effect, or director of caregiver success. Okay, this is not someone who's the scheduler, maybe not the recruiter. They might be the recruiter, or they might be the HR person if you need to double up. Or they may have other jobs, but it's not someone who's going to be burned out about scheduling. It's not that person. It's someone who's trusted, who people can vent to, who is well liked, who's a problem solver, sort of like a hostess. They send out a welcome greeting. They talk about, social amenities, entertaining. I mean, you don't have to go crazy on this. I mean, like introducing them to your Facebook page, or, making sure we have the right phone number in case, we want to share something cool with you. Telling them about, staff appreciation days, making sure the messages get to the right people. This person should be an educator who teaches about agency values, your company values, the values of cooperation, etiquette, process. Maybe this is the person who runs the orientation. And they become sort of the mentor and the mother figure when it comes to, or the light mother figure, when it comes to people being able to express their concerns. They should be a consultant, sort of like an unofficial counselor. And when I talk about problem solving, there's a lot of call-ins about, my tire's flat, or I don't have enough gas, or my kid is sick. So before those things happen, if there's a way that you can help those people with those issues, like, well, how about if we send someone to take you to work tonight, and we can worry about the flat tire in the morning, or, maybe we can get somebody over to help watch the kids for a few hours while you do your shift. Is that something you'd like? I don't know what you can and cannot do, but if you tell them in advance that you're willing to help them work through some problems with limitations, you can't be everybody's everything, then they will appreciate that, and they'll know, and they'll feel comfortable calling upon you instead of calling off. Maybe they're calling their director of caregiver success and saying, I've got a problem. I'm not going to be without a car for the week. What can I do so I don't have to lose my hours? Those are the kinds of problems that you can solve together. This person should be a great communicator, interagency communications between HR and staff, between family and staff. So someone who is a really good communicator for all the different things that come up. So director of caregiver success is maybe not something that you can afford to hire a whole new person for, but think about the people in your company that might be able to fit that role. Maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's someone that is already a caregiver who could be the director of caregiver success. Lay down some parameters and talk to them about what you can and cannot help with. But having that title and helping people understand this is somebody you can talk to. When you have challenges, this is somebody that is here for you. We want to help you through whatever life brings so that you can still get your hours in and we still have an employee and nobody is being left behind. So that's the kind of thing that helps keep people around. And I've seen this done in agencies, big and very small. The owners are often directors of caregiver success. They don't call it that, but they're also often house mother types. And because they take such good care of their caregivers, they're never without staff. That's true to this day. I've got several that are like that. Okay. Ooh, spooky ghost. Last but not least, and by the way, don't forget that if you have a question, you need to put it in the Q&A section. So if you have a question for me tonight, you want to put it in the Q&A section because we're coming to the end, and I will answer all the questions in the order received. Q&A section, put your questions in now so that you're, so I don't say, oh, no questions, bye. All right, who, what, how, and where. And what I mean by that is, how does this all come together? And this is kind of, you know, it's our last evening of training. We certainly have a lot more training that we do when someone is our client, and you may or may not ever be our client, but I hope that you consider coming on board with us so that we can do some automation. Again, watch sessions 1, 2, and 3 so you get a little bit more information about what I'm talking about. But basically, we have a program, a recruiting program, and we take everything that you're doing on the front end, placing the ads, getting the caregivers to answer the ads, all the qualifying questions. We take all of that, we put our system in place, we train your staff on how it works, and it's supposed to take the stress off that front end. You can stop worrying about the ads. You can stop worrying about if people are being responded to, because the system automatically responds to everybody by text, email, and phone. They can self-schedule their interview times based on your parameters of when you want to do those. They're sent reminders automatically. They're sent, bring these documents to your interview automatically. They are sent any kind of reminder you want them to have. They're sent reminders about appointments. The best candidates who go through this system, they self-identify by booking an appointment with you and fast track their path to employment, saving you valuable time. So that is what it's all about, is us helping you take the stress off the front end so that you can focus on the people who are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And here's what we do along with that. We show you where you're spending the most money, where new hires are coming from, which saves you money because you can stop placing ads in places where your people are not being hired from. We list all of your jobs on bestpaidcaregiverjobs.com, and they all show up in Google Jobs. Better organization and communication with applicants. Training is provided for all staff, plus follow-up training that is free, customizable to your recruiting staff needs. Full caregiver re-engagement system with stagnant candidates. So if you have a list of 400 people that have never worked for you but have applied in the past, we're going to take that list and we're going to send texts and emails and re-engage with those people every 30 days. Our system costs less than Hirology, MyCNA Jobs, and most recruiting platforms. And we're happy to log into those other platforms for you, take all the information and all the candidates out of them and put them into one platform, and continuously do that all the time. We have so many people who use so many different platforms that just having us do all of that stuff for them every night is a huge help. Every participating organization receives a branded career center, which means you get your, just like Hirology, if you've ever seen that, you get a branded landing page and a little mini website. You can link to it right from your real website. There's a little about us page, all of your open positions, an information form, a self-scheduling center, a full application, which is optional, and a document upload center, which is optional. So this is the screenshot on the left is a real sort of it's the website. As you would scroll down the website, sort of shows you what that looks like. There's an apply now button. There's also a pop-up so that they don't, if they try to leave the website, it pops up and says, hey, don't forget to put your name in. So we take care of all of that. We brand it to you and it's your center. And this is what it looks like. All of the candidates enter the funnel from various sources like Facebook, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, MyCNA Jobs, Craigslist, wherever you have ads running. And they're all put into the same funnel automation. What happens is we chase them, or the system chases them, and it gets them to take the next step. First thing we want them to do is fill out an information form, so we know that they actually qualify to work for you at the very basic level. And then we allow them to set up their own interview with their own scheduling. They can schedule it right there. Don't need any intervention from anybody. It's just a phone interview, or it could be in person, whatever you choose. And then once you hire them, you decide what's next for that pipeline. What do you need them to do next? Fill out the full application for you. Bring in some documentation for you. You tell us what that is, and we automate the texts and emails that go out to give them directions on what their next step is. Less wasted time, better results, and no more chasing candidates. The candidates who do not do what they're supposed to do not continue to take action, are put in what's called a stagnant pile. And every 30 days, we reach out to those stagnant pile people and we offer them to restart their engagement with you. And sometimes they do. So that is everything. That is our 4 days of training. If you have any questions, you're going to want to put them in the questions area. I'll answer all your questions in order. If you want to talk to me personally or down the road, you can contact us at asnmarketingplan.com or 888-404-1513. So far, I don't see any questions. So if no one has any questions for me, I would say watch for sessions 1, 2, and 3. And then you've already attended this one. And once you've watched all 4 of them, you'll have a much better idea of things that you can do to make recruiting a lot better for you and for your potential employees. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you being with me tonight and the last 4 nights. And let us know how we can help you. Thanks. Bye-bye, everybody.